Hey folks, this is Ryan from ORS Cross Country Skis Direct here in glorious Vermont. Gearing up for winter. We're talking about skis today and boots, and we're focusing now on our out the back door explorer category, which is kind of broad. There's a lot of skis and boots in there, or boots and skis that could, work in that kind of skiing. What we think about when we think outdoor explorer category, you're really not always in a touring center, but maybe you are sometimes. You're not always out in the, backyard, ungroomed trails, but you are sometimes. You're kind of splitting the difference between the two. There's your backcountry, there's your Nordic Touring Center, and then there's your category kind of in the middle. You'd like to do a little of both, and that's what we're focusing on right now. And, for starting out with skis, let's kind of walk through what we've got here. These over here, by the way, have bindings on them. That's why they're in this shot, but also they could certainly work in this category. I'll talk about those in a minute. Let's talk about these skis here, which I really consider sort of the real, true, examples of what we're talking about. The Rossignol Evo Trail is a good one to start with. Here you have a Nordic ski that does not have a metal edge, waxless pattern on the bottom, but a pretty wide ski. So really good for deeper snow, breaking your own trail, heading out the back door, skiing around your land, snowmobile trails, that kind of thing. But it will fit in a track at a Nordic Touring Center, but more for off-track use because of the width of the ski. It's a great ski for just learners, because it's nice and wide, very, very stable, and it can kind of do in-track and out-of-track equally well. So there is the Evo Trail by Rossi. Another option, the Fischer Country Crown. This is this thing is just, it won't go away. People love it. It's a traditional length ski. So these are all compact skis, meaning that they're sized shorter than your old school traditional Nordic skis used to be. However, there are some people who still prefer a longer ski. Obviously, this is a shorter length. There are multiple lengths, but in relation to your height, this is going to be longer. It's a wider ski than a true classic touring ski for a little more stability, but it is pretty narrow. It's a great ski in a track. It's a great ski on a groomed like snowmobile trail. It will break trail pretty well, but not being as wide, more for either packed or in-track use. And the traditional length gives it really great glide and that true classic feel. So if you got a good kick and glide, this is a really, really great ski. It doesn't have a metal edge, but it does have obviously the waxless pattern. It's a really nice ski, and there it is right there. Then another Fischer we have is a Silent Spider, and this is a really cool ski because it has a partial metal edge. And when you have a metal edge, what you're getting is more downhill control. The ski's going to bite into the snow, give you more controlled turns. So this ski has a metal edge from basically where the kick pattern ends to the tip, or to the tail I should say, and then to the tip. So this part and this part of the ski, the glide zones of the ski essentially have a metal edge. Underfoot you've got your waxless pattern, and this is actually a ceramic edge, which does give you some bite as well. Not having a full metal edge keeps the ski lighter weight. So it's, again, we're trying to find a ski here that can tour really well. It'll fit in a track, it'll glide really nicely on a packed surface. So it's really a touring ski, but it also has a metal edge, so you will get that extra control. It's a really, really good ski for on-trail, off-trail, a little of both. It's really sort of an ideal ski for both purposes there. Then we go up to the Rossignol BC65, and we're getting a little bit wider, still narrow enough to fit into a touring center track, which is typically cut at about 70 millimeters, so the widest part of the ski is 65 millimeters. This, however, has a full metal edge. So you like the idea of a metal edge, you don't mind a little bit of extra weight, you're going to have ton of control, making turns, snow plowing, slowing down with a full metal edge, and a nice positive waxless base pattern on there for really, really good grip. It has great glide, not as good as a race ski will, obviously, in a track, which is really narrow, but pretty good glide considering that it has a metal edge. So this is a really good ski for, a little off track, a little on track. And then we have one other ski kind of in the category. This is the Alpena Lite terrain, and this is getting pretty wide. This won't really fit in a track, but this is a ski for kind of just playing around, not necessarily know where you're going, but you need a little extra width in case you end up in some deep snow. Full metal edge will give you all that control. A lot of side cut, nice easy turning ski, and you know, a lot of people like this ski for that reason. It's a very versatile, fun ski, and you can pretty much go anywhere with it. So it won't fit in a track, but it will work obviously on a packed surface really well, and we kind of put it in just as an option. It's also kind of in our backcountry category. And a lot of these skis, too, are in different categories as well. You know, these are kind of, when we're thinking of this category, these are skis that will work. All right, now for boots. There they are. And in this category, we kind of split it. We've got touring boots, and then we have backcountry touring boots. And mainly the difference is they work with different bindings. So the touring boots are here, and then the backcountry touring are there. They are all NNN soles, meaning that they have 2 grooves. It's kind of hard to tell that there's 2 grooves there because of the way that the sole, but there are 2 grooves running the length of the sole, and then a single toe bar at the front. The NNN BC has the same thing, 2 grooves and a bar, but the space is wider between the grooves on a BC boot, so the bindings are not compatible. With the wider profile, you're getting more control and more power to the ski. The boots are also heavier duty, stiffer, and typically more for power and making turns. So you think about, okay, what am I doing? Where am I skiing? What do I need ideally? Well, when you're looking at touring boots, you're looking at nice lightweight, great for touring. Let's start off actually with the Alpena T30 and E30. Women's E30, men's. Nice touring boots that have a cuff, and that cuff gives you a little more power to the ski for control. It also has a strap, so that strap gives you, you know, a really good connection all the way down to the ski for better control, but it's still a pretty lightweight boot. Works great on any of these skis. But, you know, because it's lighter weight, you're thinking more in-track. So, you know, the Country Crown, the Silent Spider, the BC65, great choices. You know, if you're going to the light terrain, I would steer you more toward the BC boot. But this is enough. It has a cuff. It'll work. But really, you know, the BC might be better. Perfectly good on the Evo Tour by Rossi and the BC70 as well. Then we have the X5 by Rossi and the X5 FW. Same boot except women's, men's. Same kind of deal. Got a cuff that articulates and a strap. Has a nice lace cover. Also the Alpenas do as well. Keeps it a little bit warmer, keeps the snow out. Touring boot. So same kind of story. Can kind of work across the line, but more geared for the skis when you're thinking in-track. Then you get to the BC boots. We have the Alpena 1550 ladies, the Alpena 1550 men's. These are our heavier duty BC boots, and then the Rossignol BCX2, which is a little bit lighter duty. It doesn't have that, you know, upper cuff, so it's a little more lighter. It's certainly lighter weight, more for light touring, and it works great on the Rossi BC70 here. And it can work on any of these skis really, but ideally for, again, the ones that are sort of in the middle. And then when you get to the 1550, here's the women's, with that cuff, you get the extra support you need to power the wider skis like the Light Terrain or the BC65, the BC70 as well. Now I didn't talk about these 2 skis, which show the 2 different bindings. The Evo Tour, great touring ski for a track, but it is just wide enough to break your own trail, maybe do a touring center, or I should say a snowmobile trail. The BC70 by Rossignol, very similar to the BC65 right there, only wider. The 2 bindings that you can select from are the T4 NNN binding, which is a touring binding, and the BC Auto. They're very similar. You step down, only you can see how much wider the BC binding is. So that's the difference, and again, the 2 types of boots are not compatible. So you have to kind of think about where you're going, what you're doing. Make sure you grab yourself a pair of nice Swix ski straps, keep your skis together, and always remember, Easy Glide. They're waxless skis, but you want to be able to rub a waxless type wax on there. It'll give you a better glide. It'll keep snow from sticking. And that is the quick rundown in 10 minutes of the backcountry, or I should say the Explorer out the back door category. I'm Ryan from ORS Cross Country Skis Direct.